Today's episode of the Outline Podcast is brought to you by Grammarly. If you need help figuring out the difference between, hey, pick up your trash and I think you're trash, Grammarly is the app for you. You can get on your computer and your phone and your tablet, and it will help you in any type of writing format you need. You can get this by going to getgrammarly.com/outline pod. Once again, that's getgrammarly.com/outline pod. Today's episode of the Outline Podcast is also brought to you by Audible. Audible is offering the listeners of the show 30 days free and one free audiobook that you get to keep even if you cancel your membership. You can redeem this by going to www.audibletrial.com/outline pod. Once again, that is audibletrial.com/outline pod. Let's start the show.
Yeah, the Outline with Kevin Dwayne, Kevin Dwayne. Yeah, the Outline, with Kevin Dwayne. The Outline, with Kevin Dwayne. This is the Outline with Kevin Dwayne. Kevin Dwayne with Kevin Dwayne.
Yo, what's going on, you guys? It's the Outline Podcast, and I'm your host, Kevin Dwayne. Thank you so much for joining me on this glorious Wednesday after my birthday. I had a great birthday, you guys. I couldn't have asked for a better bunch of people to celebrate with. I had some friends over, and they all blended well, and it was a good ass time. And my best friend Christina was out here, and I got her to sit her ass down and be on this week's show and next week's show as well, because We Talk for So Long is going to be part 1 and part 2. But don't worry, it is good shit because we take it there. We were lit. And we were having a real ass conversation like only we know how to do. So there's going to be some good stuff later on in the show. But first, I just wanted to check in with you guys and just thank you so much for all the love, the support, the comments, and the reviews. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for sharing it with your friends and using the hashtag the Outline Podcast with your favorite quotes. Love you all. I see it all, and I will highlight it whenever I see it. So continue doing that and we will move forward. I also want to highlight that we are now on I keep saying we. I guess I'm including you all when I say we, because it's my show, but it's a community. We are now on an app called Vaudle. That's Vaudle. It is a podcast or audio app. It is pretty dope. Make sure you download it. The Outline Podcast is on there, and it was featured last week on the main page. And I checked this morning, and it's still featured. So that's a really good look. So we have a lot of new listeners on there. So shout out to all you Vaudle listeners. Thank you so much for joining the show and getting a part of the conversation. I appreciate the love that you guys show me as well. And I will be checking there as well for comments. I saw a few people say that they enjoyed the show and they thought it was funny. So thank you so much for just trying something new out. And I'm glad you enjoy what you hear so far. And I welcome you on this journey as we venture towards 100 episodes. Man, time is going by so fast, you guys. I cannot believe that the show has been going on for over a year and a half. And it blows my mind because all I do is just show up every damn week. And here we are. So thank you all so much. And I appreciate it. A few things, because it seems like a lot is going on in the last few days. First things first, rest in peace to Craig Mack. Mr. Flavor in Your Ear. That is just a legendary song. He is like a pioneer of the bad boy movement. And it's funny because his career was so short, but that song carried him well into hip hop history. You know, when Bad Boy started, the founders were Diddy, but then you had Notorious B.I.G. and you had Craig Mack right there. It was Big Mac. There was a whole McDonald's kind of campaign going on, and it's just a movement. And he died of heart failure at 46, and that just, man, it hits close to home because that's not old at all, you guys. And we really gotta. I don't know the issues surrounding his health and what led to it, but we got to take care of ourselves regardless. We have to eat properly. We have to watch what we consume, whether it be smoking, drinking, whatever, working out, whatever it is. We have to really take care of ourselves because too many of us, and when I say us, I mean black people, people of color, we're dying too early. And I think a lot of it is preventative. So make sure you're on your P's and Q's and getting yourself together. But rest in peace and positive vibe to his family and all those affected by the loss. Apparently OJ Simpson, there was a clip that leaked that shows him confessing to killing Nicole Brown Simpson and was it Ron Goldman? But we all knew that shit. We just, it was never about him doing it or not. It was a win for black people just because we didn't like the justice system and we still don't like it. But whatever, Sherlock Holmes for the win. That happened. On the Run 2 is happening with Beyonce and Jay-Z. And it's funny because last week they leaked that it was coming out. I'm sorry, you guys. At this point, I do not believe that someone accidentally leaked anything from Beyonce's cap. I believe that they control all of it because it keeps the buzz going. Like that accidentally posting up on the page and accidentally showing up on Ticketmaster, that came directly from her team, you guys. Like at this point, we have to stop believing that someone's actually losing their job and they're messing up and they're telling us before time. No, it's all a part of the game because people fall for it every damn time. They leaked it last week just so you could know it was coming. And that way, when it finally came to fruition yesterday, people were kind of ready. Like, okay, this is actually happening. I know I have my credit card ready to go. Hopefully, Tidal gonna have that pre-sale tomorrow or today rather. I'm sorry, I'm recording this on Tuesday. But hopefully that pre-sale is ready so I can go ahead and get my ticket. And when I say ticket, I mean that. Don't ask to go with me. Don't say shit to me about the concert. I don't give a fuck. I don't wait for people. I buy a ticket. I go. I sit where I want to sit. And I don't worry about planning shit with other people because it's frustrating as fuck waiting for you guys to get your coins together. And I don't want to do it and I'm not going to do it. But I'll be there. I'm excited. So I'm just waiting to click that link and put in my Visa. That's all I want to do. That's all I want to do. So I'm excited for this tour. I do wish, and I'm still hoping, that Beyonce in particular releases some more music between now and then. I love Formation, and I'd watch Formation a million times over. However, I don't want to see Formation meets 444 necessarily unless they're redoing everything. Now, Beyonce is good for redoing stuff. Like she will redo like her set design and stuff like that. We've seen her do it over and over and over again. But I really want some new music. Like Beyonce's not an EP kind of gal, but then again, we don't know what she's capable of doing. But I do want just some more new tracks, something to really be excited about seeing. But I am interested in seeing how this show will be post Lemonade and 444. I think that'll be a dope ass mixture. And yeah, so I'm super excited about the show. And yeah, I'm just ready to buy that ticket. That's that. Also, I don't know what it is, but I feel like I have been crying like a motherfucker this week. I feel like everything is driving me to tears. So I finally decided to watch Coco after being told over and over again by so many people that it was good. The first person that told me was my cousin Jasmine. She's like, hey, Coco's really good. Check it out. It was on my list. Still didn't check it out. Somebody else said, hey, have you seen Coco? Check it out. Then it won Best Animated Film at the Oscars. And I was like, okay, I'm going to finally check this damn movie out since, it's moving like that. So I watched it yesterday and it was a phenomenal movie. I love the fact that it was centered around music. and Dia de los Muertos and Ancestors, and I got through most of the movie, and I swear to God, the last 15 minutes took me out. I'm not going to spoil it. Just watch it. It's so damn good. I was sobbing at this goddamn cartoon. But at the same time, if you've seen Up, like the beginning of Up, that shit's sad as fuck too. So I mean, it's nothing new. It's just it makes you feel. You feel things. And if you love family and you have a tight knit with people, you'll get it. But Coco is an amazing film. I highly recommend watching it. Check it out. Another thing that I've been sobbing at for like 2-3 hours straight, and I can't even believe it myself. It's the reboot of American Idol. Okay, you guys. American Idol is actually really, really good on ABC. I did not watch the last American Idol after season 3. I watched the first 3 seasons. That was Kelly Clarkson, Ruben Studdard, Fantasia. I watched a little bit of the season that Carrie Underwood won on. Outside of that, I stopped watching. I didn't care. It was just too campy. I was over it. Everything just was really mediocre to me. So I didn't care. Now, I was doing some work yesterday, editing some photos, and it was on Hulu. And I was like, okay, let me watch the first episode because Garrick, who was on the show, wrote an article about it. And I enjoyed the article. And I was like, okay, let me check it out and see what kind of vibe Luke Bryan, Katy Perry, and Lionel Richie are giving. So I watched it. And to my surprise, it's actually really, really good, you guys. Like, I am not shitting you. Watch the first 2 episodes of American Idol. It's really good. Number 1, they got rid of the campy ass auditions. None of that fake ass, stupid, over the top shit. There is a section on the second episode where they kind of wrap up all the people that they rejected in like 3 minutes. It's really, really quick. You don't spend a lot of time on that shit. The rest of the auditions are good ass singers with amazing talent and people with so much passion that it really brings you to tears. Like, I don't know if it's the way they're telling each other's stories or what it is, but I found myself tearing up multiple times because there's something about seeing people overcome things and really, really have a moment of happiness. And just watch it. I feel like you have to have a cold heart or a missing heart not to feel anything on this season. It's really good. It's really, really good. Like, please watch it. And it's weird that I'm even saying this. I could have sworn I was going to not like American Idol, the reboot, but I'm actually really enjoying it. I'm loving Lionel Richie. I'm loving Luke Bryan. I'm loving Katy Perry. I actually listened to a Luke Bryan album today because I just like his personality. He seems like a really nice, genuine dude. And I'm not even a country music fan, but I just like what he's giving on the show that I was like, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and just listen to him because I like the guy. And another thing, they got rid of that rude ass cattiness. We've gotten too caught in the Simon Cowell way of judging things where it's just mean and rude and just super dry. This show is actually really positive. The criticism is very constructive and it's not on some, I'm just going to be as mean as I can be. They either said, no, you're not making it this time, or yes, you're wonderful. And that was that. They offered their criticisms and they moved on. It wasn't on no negativity, hurtful shit. So if that's what you're looking for, then don't watch it. It's a positive ass show. And I think ABC was a good move. Side note. Let me find out that Lionel Richie is still walking around here rocking that 70s Commodore's cake. Listen, Lionel Richie got ass. He got ass. That man got ass. There was a shot where they were standing up and I was like, what the hell? Like, this nigga is a brick house. Come through. Come through, Lionel. That's goals. I don't want to be Lionel's age and still have Commodore's cake. That's all I'm saying. That is goals to me. I'm glad he has kept it up. But listen, it's a great show. Watch it. I do not think you'll be disappointed at all. And yeah, that's that. Have a great show ahead, you guys. When we get back from the break, it's going to be me and the infamous best friend of mine that I bring up so many fucking times, Christina. We're having a conversation about shit, everything: sex, relationships, cheating, rape culture, porn, friendship, all of it. All of it. It's a great part 1 because part 2 is coming on the next show. But I hope you enjoy part 1. And yeah, talk to you in a bit. Hey guys, hope you're enjoying this episode of the Outline Podcast. Just want to take a second to tell you all about the LGBT Arts and Culture Music Fest that's going to be in Punta Cana, Dominican Republic, Memorial Day weekend 2018. It's going to be an amazing time. They'll be honoring Tamar Braxton, Shirley Ralph, Sean T., and also, you're going to have James Wright Chanel there. There's going to be excursions, partying, networking opportunities. It's going to be a great time. You can register now by going to www.lgbtmusicfest.com. Once again, that's lgbtmusicfest.com. Make sure you let them know that Kevin Duane of the Outline Podcast sent you. Let's get back to the show. So, welcome back to the Outline. As I stated earlier in the show, I have Christina, the infamous Christina, on the show. Finally,
yes, I'm gonna be in this bitch
after a year.
Yes, I'm gonna be on the motherfucking Outline, nigga.
Yeah. Turn the fuck up! I'm excited. So yeah, I've mentioned you 3 million times. Like I'm always talking about some. Oh, I was talking to Christina about this. Like, who the fuck is this girl that you keep mentioning? The best friend, Christina, and you're here. So we're just leaving my birthday weekend. We're recording this, and I tell you, Christina has made me all the vegan treats. Like she has been coming here cooking the entire time. And let's see, we had spinach dip, street tacos, mac and cheese, potatoes with gravy, turkey situation, right. Like a tofurkey situation.
Yeah.
Shit. You made nachos for the little shindig.
I made a little cheese sauce.
Little cheese. Like, listen, I've been eating so good. Like, I've been spoiled this whole weekend. But I got all the recipes too, though. So I'm definitely gonna be recreating all week. What you eating? Spinach dip again?
Come through, spoiled.
What you eating again? Street tacos again?
Shout out to your other best friends. Step your game up.
Right.
I'm just saying. And I flew in Southwest.
Yes.
Nigga, Southwest.
So what are your... Okay, you said that a few times. So do we not like Southwest? Or...
I mean, Southwest is like a step up from Spirit. Let me not do Southwest
Damn.
like that.
You just want to get away. Right?
Southwest is like first come, first serve. So just be on time or you will not have a seat or you will be forced to sit next to some stranger person in the middle for the duration of your flight. But I like the functionality of Southwest. So, I mean, it's cool, but it's not like a JetBlue. I mean, JetBlue gives you like supreme like leg room.
Come through JetBlue.
You get
I flew JetBlue for one of my flights.
JetBlue's dope. Like Southwest.
When I went to Barcelona, it was that. I think one of them was JetBlue.
I think when you went to Boston or wait, Jersey. Where did you have? You have to stop everywhere.
Oh, but remember they changed it to United at the last minute. When I was like, oh shit, why did they change it?
Southwest is above United.
Damn.
I hate United. Yeah.
Damn.
Right.
Now, is the seat thing new?
No, it's always been like that.
Really? Because I've flown Southwest once. I don't remember. I didn't know it was first come, first serve.
So Southwest is like the best of an airline.
It used to be AirTran, right?
Who used to be AirTran?
I thought it was Southwest. I thought
Someone was
Yeah,
AirTran.
Southwest bought AirTran.
There you go. All I know is it's always been first come, first serve. So it's like a bus situation. Get there early. Make sure you want to sit in front or at a window. Check in on time. So clearly I had to set an alarm last night to make sure I checked in on time and I still got Group B. I'm not salty. It's okay. However, I will be there on time to make sure for the motherfuckers who didn't show up in Group A that I can get my window seat through Group B. So it's cool.
But you just walk on the plane and sit down. Okay, so you can go to the back somewhere and find them.
And most people like Southwest because of the fact that they let you check 2 bags for free. So for the people who overpack and they have the 2 big ass bags, they don't care. So you could check those for free. So that's kind of the appeal for it. And you get to cancel your flights. They don't charge you fees. It's a lot of good things that comes with Southwest.
But you also get the riffraff that comes along with
of having to pick your seat when you get there.
Yeah.
Which doesn't. I like guarantees. So it's cool.
Guarantees are good. We pay for guarantees.
Exactly. I would be willing to pay to make sure I have a window seat.
That's real.
It's fine. So yeah, I leave tonight at 8. I got here 9 Thursday.
Yeah.
So flew in just for your birthday.
Listen, we've been chilling. Like Thursday, you got here Thursday night. That was a wrap. Friday, We went to Go Vegetarian off North Druid Hill or in Decatur. That was
Right.
dope. Then we went to Cafe something vegan, the bakery, Dulce Vegan,
There you go.
whatever.
Who don't pick up the phone?
They don't pick up the phone.
I mean, but it's white people, so I mean,
right,
like, what
but they
can
have
you
good
expect?
cupcakes though.
Cupcakes are bomb.
Cupcakes are popping.
That
Yeah.
buttercream was spot
Yeah,
on.
that cookie one was dope too. Then went to Revolution Donuts, picked up some chairs, went to Dollar Tree, got some odds and ends, stopped at Publix, got some wine and some more odds and ends. Then we chilled. And then got the place together. I had a little shindig for my birthday, which was amazing. I had a great time. Oh my God, I had so much fun. Like I couldn't have picked a better group of people to be in the space. Like I'm as you know, I'm all about energy. I don't like, I like to manifest good friendships and stuff. And I think there were 19 people total who came here on Friday, and it was amazing. I couldn't like just the music, the flow. Everyone got along with each other because I think when you invite people to stuff, you don't want them to be like loners, or you want to be like, okay, I want to do. It's my party, so I got to talk to everybody. I got to do my own thing, and I also want to enjoy myself. I don't want to babysit, and shit like that. So it was nice to see everybody talk to each other. Like at any moment of the night, you will see somebody else chilling with somebody else. I'm like, oh, this is dope as fuck. People got to meet Christina because, they were starting to think she wasn't a real person.
That's fine.
I mean, I have her picture over my damn love seat over there.
Right. And I've been in this bitch since jump. Like, you moved in, it was like, let me go on and just put her up there. And then we can hang the TV, and then we can hang everything else. But let me go on and put up this photo of her. And I'm right by the bedroom, and I'm like kind of looking in there like, what you doing? So it's cool. Let's talk about friendship though, because you mentioned how you had 19 people who came over, and I mean, that's not just your whole collection of friends.
Right.
Most people can't, get 19 people to call them back. So the fact you had 19 people show up on time, let's talk about that. Like, your event started at 8, and I want to say people were here like 8:30.
It popped off. Like at a certain point, just everybody just came in.
Yeah, it was really dope. So what does friendship now mean to you versus when you were younger?
Oh shit. Friendship requires action. It requires showing up. And I don't mean to no fuck ass party, but I mean just like actual, like, I'm going through some shit, what's your action gonna be? Because words are easy, but are you actually gonna come through? Like, I always think about me and Elliot talked about this on our episode. I think about like when I had the dog for the week and it died. That shit was crazy. I called him. I was like, dude, I don't know what the fuck I am going to do. Like, this is crazy as hell. Everything's closed. It was like 8 o'clock on a Friday. There was no vet open.
Right.
I was like, what am I going to do? I have this dead fucking dog in my bedroom, and I'm crying. I'm upset. And next thing I know, he's knocking at my door. And I remember just in the doorway, just hugging him and crying like, dude. But I felt so good. Like, you really just came here. It was like, I don't know what to do, but I am going to come there immediately and just be there because we can figure this out together. And that's friendship to me. It's action. It's easy to say some shit. And so, Friday was a representation of that. There are people who wouldn't miss it for the world. I don't know if I'm putting anybody out on this one. I won't say their names, but there were 2 friends who came here in a big rig, nigga. Like, they was like, we're coming to your party. Like, they say, nigga, we're coming to your party. We gonna park this motherfucking big rig across the way.
I mean, okay, can we?
Nigga, that meant so much.
I mean,
that meant so much to me, though. The fact that you was like, listen, we ain't get the car situation ain't right now, but we got this big rig, nigga. Just tell us where we can park it. I was like, there's a local Publix. That shit meant the world to me, though. I was like, damn, like, you want to come to my party so much that you will say, fuck it, I'm gonna drive this big ass truck to you and figure this shit out.
That's really dope. Like, to have friends that will do pretty much anything, or will make concessions in certain areas, or will rearrange their life in order to show up for you. And it could be something where, and I think sometimes as friends, I'll speak for self. Sometimes I don't realize with my friends how much certain things mean to them. And I've been making more of a conscious effort just within recent years to show up, to show up for my friends, because I'm an introvert. It's easy for me to be by myself, and do shit for myself. But I have to realize that just because something a party might not be important to me doesn't mean it's not important to my friends. Or like going out to dinner or showing up for their brunch isn't important, just because I'm like, it's just brunch, and especially with being vegan, it's like, oh, fucking salad. I can't, I'm not coming to your shit. You better pick something that got, some fried cauliflower that I can have. But it's like now I've gotten out of my selfish ways. That was me being selfish. Like I can't eat at your shit, so I'm not coming. Well, it's not about me. It's your shit. Yeah. So you're my friend. Let me show up for your shit. So yes, it's dope that you have fucking friends who will drive a big rig and park it around the corner in order to be here for a kickback. Yeah. That was just for a couple hours.
And the people who couldn't come actually reached out to me. Like, there was no one who just didn't show up. Everyone who couldn't come were like, I'm so sorry. Let me make it up to you next week. I'm like, it's cool. It's a kickback. Don't worry about it. But that means a lot that people cherish a friendship the way I cherish theirs. But I also don't use the word friend lightly anymore. Like, nah, you have to be approved, like, to be a friend of mine. Like, it means a lot to me. So it was just nice to have all those people here and have everybody vibe, because it means I'm all about curation. And so it meant a lot that I manifested so many common people. Christina, after the party, she's told me that I have a lot of similar friends. She's like, you really have made the same friend over and over and over again. I'm like, that's interesting. And it's like, while you guys are all individual, you guys have an energy that blends well. It's like the perfect playlist, and I love a good playlist now.
That's one thing that I love as well is we talked about that, is that you've been intentional when it comes to your friendships. So how do you, because I struggle with this sometimes, how do you manifest dope friends? Like, in your opinion, like, how did you go about, and I know it's been a hit or miss. I know it hasn't always been consistent, because I've been around. We're celebrating 10 years this year. Yes! 10 years! So, given that it has been, an up and down, it's been a trial and error, but for the most part, no shade, to your ex, who I will not say his name, but your life been kind of lit since that relationship ended.
It has.
So, and now you just have really dope people around you. So, what did you do in order to manifest, to curate these friends that you now have?
Actually, that's actually a good one. Okay, so, honestly, 2012, with all the stuff that happened with like my parents and shit like that, and moving to Atlanta, I literally became a completely different person. Like, it was a whole new life, and I always had that thought process going on. And then like losing my parents, and then going through that whole ordeal with my family and shit, as you remember, it gave me a backbone. And it let me start, it got me to a point where I started saying no to shit I didn't want to do, and starting really figuring out what it was that I wanted. Then hopping in the relationship with the last person, that got me to a place to fine tune what it is I wanted versus what I didn't want. And also saying, actually, follow my intuition. Knowing damn well something's not for me and still pushing for it anyway, I learned to stop doing that shit, because it bites you in the ass. You got to just start doing things. And so I wanted my friendship to be like that. And then moving on my own, which Christina encouraged me to do. She was like, boo, you got to live on your own. She's like, you got to live on your own. And I wanted to point this out too. One thing that Christina did for me, another action, when I was really going through it with my ex, it got to a point she was like, listen, if it's money, I will get you a deposit or whatever. Like, she was serious. She was like, listen, you seem so unhappy right now. And she's like, if that's what it'll take for you to break the lease or whatever it is, she's like, I got you, but you seem so unhappy right now. And I remember that, like, damn, but it was like, no, I got it. But I remember like, shit, like, and that's how you know a friend, where they're like, nigga, like, I stand up for you. So having you and Garrick and Jasmine and Rachel during that time, that showed me what real friends were. So I was like, I don't want nobody in my life who isn't like this.
That's real.
Because a lot of motherfuckers disappeared when my parents died. Like, I didn't hear from anyone. And I was kicking with these motherfuckers all the time. Like, they really went silent. But I also know that people are weird with death. Right. So I don't necessarily blame them. But a lot of people disappeared. Like, completely. Like, I didn't hear anything. And I'm like, shit, this is how it is. So after my last relationship, I got on my solo shit. And I was like, damn, I like solitude. Like, nigga, I was like, this shit is, like, lit. Like,
which I knew you would.
I like just, nigga, I'm not arguing about the fucking thermostat. Nigga, I ain't gotta fucking rinse the broom off before sweeping. Like, nigga, I ain't gotta use palm olive. I don't have to buy fucking Oro wheat bread if I don't want motherfucking. Like, it was like, oh, this is all my control. This is all my shit. So I created this energy at home that was my energy. And so I'm like, well, I don't want to do it. Like, so what would happen is I would be a solo, but then I would go somewhere. And that's where it started. I would go somewhere. And I'm like, I don't like the energy here. Old me would have just sat there and be like, well, it's somebody's party. Nope. New me was like, I'll be here 20 minutes. Like, all right, boo. Heading back to the house. You'll see the back of my Camry. Cool. Right. And I got comfortable with that. And I got to a place I'm like, I have to protect my energy and protect my own peace.
Right.
And so that's how I started building my friendships. If I sensed you was on some fuck shit, I wasn't going to move forward with it. Like, if you, I started realizing it when people would invite me to stuff and I said no. I remember this one guy, he kept inviting me to his parties, but I would look at his posts on Facebook. I'm like, you're toxic as fuck. I don't want to be around that. And I kept saying no. And he was in his feelings about it because it was like a post I had later on where he kind of projected the statement. I was like, oh, you're really mad about me not coming to your parties. And I'm like, but your energy is trash. And I started learning how to sense that. And so I started picking friends based on that or picking acquaintances to then upgrade to friends. I don't use the word friend lightly. You can't meet me and we have a fucking drink or something. Now I'm like, oh, we friends now. Nah, nigga. I need to see you in other elements. Like you date people. I need to see how you treat waiters. I need to see how you treat the poor. I need to see how you treat like situations when you're triggered. I need to see all that shit. Because I can't just call you a friend if you're not. Right. Because I'm all about protecting that. I've had toxic ass friendships in the past. Like, that cracking joke shit where I tell you something in secret and then you want to crack jokes at parties, other people, and say we're not friends. Right. People do that all the time. I've been to so many people's houses with their so-called best friends, and I've had friends like that you've seen who you're like, that's your friend? Because they surely are out here trying to show you up. And you're like, nah, no.
So you have discernment now.
Hella discernment. I think I've always had it. I've learned to listen to it.
That's real.
I've learned to listen to it. Discernment and intuition. Like, I can usually sense things within minutes.
Right.
I can be in a room and say, yeah, no, I ain't gonna fuck with this one.
So for the people who want to become the world of Kevin's friend.
That's so weird that you use that phrase that way. But okay.
Right. No, but for people who want to get that closeness to you though, is there a certain way for them to go about it? Because, okay, I guess I should say this as a side note. I've always known you to be popular since I've met you. Like, way back when, even when you were just the cool black kid or whatever the case may be, you were still popular. And you and I have talked about this openly. A lot of the times I've always said it's because of, you have attractive privilege. You're an attractive guy. So people tend to, just kind of gravitate towards you. But I think it's the beauty of you is when they get to know you and really speaking for self again, it's your creative side. I love the fact that you're so creative. I mean, I'm a Sag who will always be attracted to Pisces in some way, shape, or form because of the creative side. It'll never work in any other aspect.
No.
But we can vibe on some, spiritual, this is where you're at, this is where your life is, this is what you want to do with your life. So for the people who want to get closer to you, and might not know the way to go about it because it's not with complimenting your looks. You get that all damn day.
Oh my God.
It's not with trying to present themselves in an inauthentic way. Like, what would you say to them? Like, if you want to get close to me, this is how you do it.
Honestly, that's a good ass question. Fuck.
Yeah, that's the spot questions. We didn't rehearse none of this
shit. I'm just trying to think about how I've always met friends. It's always on some commonality shit. And I have to just kind of go down and think about how I've met my friends. Like, for instance, Moabi. We met at work. And I was maybe first or second week at work. She walked by my desk one day and was all like, you need to smile. At first I was like, who the fuck is you talking to? I don't know. But
I just thought at her a little bit like, what?
She was just all like, smile a little. Like, don't be, I was like, okay. And I smiled. That was cool. But that kind of opened up the door of like, okay, she's friendly and stylish. And I remember her walking away or whatever. And then what it was, I think she was talking to another coworker and I was friends with him. And then I think he tagged her in something. And I clicked on her page and I saw affirmations. Nigga, I was like, oh, she do affirmations? Oh, it's lit. I walked over to her desk. I was like, I see these affirmations and I see this poetry and stuff. And she's like, oh yeah, I'm into it, blah, 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 whatever. And so she ended up following me. And she was like, wait a minute, photographer, videos. And then that was all she wrote. We also, now we're sharing like quotes and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And that became my thing. And like we were both in that place. And that environment we were in was very toxic.
Mm-hmm.
And so we kind of became each other's like sounding boards for that.
Mm-hmm.
And it was crazy like how that worked out. But it was a commonality. With Raven, he was in Baltimore. We don't know how we became friends on Facebook.
Was it through Elliot?
No, I met Elliot through Raven. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
The first time I met Raven, he bought Elliot.
Oh.
So I really met them both at the same time. But me and Raven had already had like a rapport online. Yeah, but we don't know how he popped up, but the positivity was there.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I'm saying. I read stuff. I'm like, oh, he's a positive dude. Like, he's all about light and rising and stuff like that. So that's important to me. Your energy gotta be on the optimistic end. I don't believe in toxic optimism. That's stupid to me. I don't do that. I'm okay with people being a realist, but you can't be an asshole.
What's an example of toxic optimism?
Well, there are some people who feel like if you try to make a bright side of everything, that is not realistic.
Okay.
And there's people who hate that. The friend zone talked about it. Fran says she gets a lot of hate from people because they say she's being fake. They say all this positivity shit isn't real. And I'm like, yeah, but all that negativity isn't either.
So just because I'm not miserable, it's not real.
Right, but being that miserable isn't authentic either.
But I think
it's
some
balance.
people need to realize what miserable is. And I feel that, and we're going to get back on track with your friends because I have questions.
Okay, you better come on Out Loud with Christina.
Right.
Shit, featuring Kevin. I'm with it. It's cool. It's cool. It must be a sad. It must be a sad thing. Every sad
line
with Christina.
Get
it?
Yes.
Switch it out. Switch it out. It's a Sag thing. Sags love to come over and spread out. They do. They do. Because every Sag I've had on the show, Sag I've had on the show has taken over. I become the motherfucking guest. And it's okay. It's all right because I love y'all. Now, because she took my spot on the couch and said, okay, so I need you to tell people that this is now my spot. By the way, I said, nigga, that's my spot.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I mean, no, it's cool. No,
we can share.
No, you're my guest. You're good. And the beautiful thing about guests is they leave.
That's fine. I'll be back. I have a key.
You do have a key.
That I sure am not giving back.
Oh, you're not giving it back?
Mm-mm.
Oh, okay.
Go get copies.
Oh, okay.
Well, I need a key just in case.
Whatever.
Okay, so we were talking about, and we're drinking.
Man.
Train of thought, trying to
unpack this shit.
Right? We were talking about friend zone, optimism, so about people and the whole miserable thing. You and I talk about this quite often. Petty.
And
I think that some of us have gotten into I'm not bitter, I'm just petty. Yeah. Not realizing that
you're bitter.
Yeah, and it's kind of like a fine line between being either or, and it's almost the same shit.
Well, pettiness is immaturity.
Right. And so why is that okay? Why have we now pretty much said, okay, it's okay to be petty. Essentially it's okay to be immature. So how do you deal with that? Because it's everywhere. I mean, it's online. You recently, I'll say it, someone decided to recently give you, a little critique about
nigga. And I was like, and it's funny because I'll actually explain this. Mm-hmm. So with me, like Christina is a person that I can confide in and be like, we do it to each other. We can be raw. Mm-hmm. We don't have this, if we say what we want to say to each other. So if we're feeling insecure, if we're feeling anything, we can say it without putting in a pretty ass dress or whatever. It's like, I feel a way about this and it's just what it is. I may be judgmental right now. So what? I may be this right now. So what? We have that friendship. Mm-hmm. And so I posted a video on my page, and it's funny because y'all can definitely go to it and see what I'm talking about. But I was doing a pose, and the pose was just a pose. And someone left the weirdest comment, and they tried to camouflage it as being like peaceful and nice, but I didn't take it that way. I was just like, this feels weird. It was like, soften your gaze. And I'm like, damn, so you looked at the pose and was like, oh, this is fine. But it just felt petty to me. It was very much, soften your gaze. Your eyes are too tight. Soften it. And so I was like, okay, you're giving a critique because you feel like that's your place, whatever, because you're also in the yoga community. I get that. But somehow it still felt like
It was unnecessary.
Why?
Out of all the things that you could have focused in on about this, you decided to find something as minute as my gaze, and then to then critique me on it in a public forum where everybody else is going to see it,
Yeah.
and people are essentially liking it, but you want to be the contrarian and be like, "Oh, well, let me help you out." It was unnecessary, and I feel that a lot of us, and I include myself in it because I don't just want to put people on the spot, even though they need to be. But I feel that we've kind of have gotten comfortable in always providing unsolicited, criticism, unsolicited pettiness, bitterness. We've gotten into the habit of inserting ourselves into people's lives, um, under the guise of I'm just being me, I'm just being real. But then we wonder why these people don't fuck with us. We wonder why they don't get invites, to parties, and we wonder why they don't follow us back on social media platforms.
Or you unfollow them completely.
Exactly. So it's like, I find it now, it's even for me, I find it a little bit more difficult to kind of navigate away from that. A lot of my quote unquote friends live in the land of being petty. They enjoy it. They enjoy waking up and, talking about someone's post or just putting that negativity out there. And I've noticed that I have very consciously created a separate space between us. We're not hanging out as much. We're not, having lunch as much. We're not going on trips together. We're not doing that because I don't want that in my life. I don't want that energy, being attached to me for the rest of the day. I don't need that mindset. I don't want to wake up first thing in the morning and you talking shit about what someone said on social media and how you don't like it. Like what you and I do, our friendship is very different from my other friendships. And I think I've told you this time and time again. Like, would I love to clone you and I could talk to all my homegirls and homeboys the same way? Yeah, but they're not like that. They're kind of going through their own shit. And I've noticed that what they're dealing with on a personal level, a lot of them are internalizing it, and it's causing them to then lash out or act certain ways in their friendships that are now changing. Now they're not having, the people around them that they had before. They're not having the conversations that they had before. They don't have those relationships with me specifically. And it's kind of like, well, what's happening? And so I have to tell them, this is how you get closer to me. Cut that negative shit out. Like, I get it. We're all allotted to have a bad day, but if it's every day,
day in and day out.
Yeah.
And we talked about that too. We have, as friends, we have to be cautious at what we're trying to drop on other people.
Exactly. Like, I'm that friend that says gauge the energy. Like, hit me up, or even when I hit up Kevin, it's very, hey, what's going on with you? I gauge the situation before I just unload my shit. Because you can have your own shit. It's me being respectful of the fact that you have your own separate life, and you're not just here at my beck and call of when shit hits the fan for Christina. Oh, now Christina can call me and just say everything that's going on in her life. Because we're also very receptive of other people's energy. You could have a great day, and I call you and say, damn, this just happened, and this just happened, and this just happened. And now you're going to feel it. Now you're like, well, fuck. That's heavy.
I feel all of the shit. Like, I take on people's stuff. And that's another thing with the friendship thing I had to start doing. I'd be like, well, are you going to have a lot of negativity that I have to take on? Because I purge that in my solitude. But I don't want to spend a whole day purging some shit. I want to spend an hour like, whoo, that's over with. So yeah, that's real.
And I always find myself struggling with this because yes, you want friends who are positive and, who have great things going on in their life. And you want to allot them the opportunity to, go through shit. You want to allot them the opportunity to experience, to be human. We're all human, and we are experiencing life. However, I can't make space, and I don't make space for people who refuse to try to see the brighter side.
Yeah.
And as selfish as that might seem, it is, because knowing how invested I am in my friends, your shit becomes my shit. If you're dealing with something heavy, we're now dealing with something heavy, and we're going to try to get through that together. So if you're just perpetually always in that state, that means I'm always going to be there with you. I have to tell you what my limit is. Yeah. So it's just being honest. And, I have a friend right now who's going through a horrible divorce, and it's been very heavy. trying to be there for them and trying to point out the brighter side, especially on days that he don't want to hear that shit, you
Yeah.
know? But as a result, do I find myself not taking certain phone calls? Yes.
Yeah.
You know, there's certain days I'm just like, yeah, bruh, I can't
do it.
I can't do this today. We just talked about how she ain't shit yesterday. And we talked about it on Sunday. We talked about it on Friday.
Nigga,
So I need a
break.
break. You know, like, or I need you to start thinking about, you know, why am I still in this space that I'm in? You know, how am I going to move on? So friendship is difficult. And it's beautiful to see you now in a space, especially knowing what it took for you to get here. It's beautiful now to see you in a space where you have friends who are understanding of who you are, who definitely cherish and empower who you are, and who they actually seek you out. I feel like a lot of your friends are inspired by you. Not necessarily on a, because again, you've always been like this trendsetter, attractive dude. It's like, oh, well, Kevin got a cut in his hair, so let me go get a cut in my hair. It's always kind of been like that. But now it's like, you know what? No, you know, Kevin works from home. Kevin's a photographer. Let me try photography. You know, let me try that. Like, you've even inspired me to want to pursue the things that I know I'm really dope at. You know, I feel like I'm a bomb ass cook. You know, I want to do some dope ass things this year, you know, in regards to just rebranding my Instagram, to, you know, doing pop-up things. Like, I want to do more things. So I know that a lot of your friends feel the same way I do, you know, and it's really beautiful to see you get to that space, because I know it's been a journey. It hasn't always been like that. You've had some horrible fucking friends. You have. And, you know, it's been a process. You have, over the last, you know, couple years, especially since your mom passed, over the last 5 years, well, 6, coming up on 6. Wow.
Yeah, the 20.
Coming up on
20.
6 years. Damn.
Yeah.
You have definitely gotten these people out of your life. And if it wasn't by you moving from LA, if it wasn't by you moving from, you know, where you were staying before, I mean, you had cliques of friends that you don't even fuck with them no
Right.
more.
In Atlanta.
In Atlanta, you're like,
Yeah.
So it's really dope. And it was really dope to see that on Friday. To see people invested in you enough to show up on time.
And then also people, I think I love the fact that people trust people based on me.
Absolutely.
They're like, well, if Kevin fucks with them, they're good. And that was the energy on Friday. Everybody's like, well, listen, like one of my favorite moments of the night was when you and Raven met. Because Raven hugged her and was like, no, I don't want to let go. I've heard so much about you that I feel like I love you too. And they literally would just embrace each other. I was like, oh my God. Like, that's so crazy. That because I talk about Christina so fucking much to Raven, who I see a couple times a week. So it's kind of like this balance of the world. It's like, and he and I have a very no frills relationship where it's like, no judgment. We talk about things that are real. It's very, and so to have you two meet each other, it was like East Coast and West Coast.
Yes, East Coast and West Coast.
And that's what it was like. Yes.
Come through the Biggie to my Tupac.
Yes.
Yes. Come through.
But you guys embrace each other, and I was like, oh, this is so dope. Because as you know, I've had people meet before, and it didn't go well at all.
Oh, Garrett.
No.
I love you, Garrett, but
that first time,
it wasn't looking too good, boo. It wasn't looking good at all.
They
I was
love
gonna
each
have
other
to
now.
I was gonna have to talk to Kevin like, look, it's gonna be me.
That was
one
funny.
of us.
That was funny. Yeah, they love each other now. Just to clear that up, Garrett and Christina are friends now. But I remember they met at my graduation celebration and for my graduation from college. And there was a situation with like drinks and shit. And then like
he ended up having, my drink was on his tab, and Garrick said, I will never forget this, someone gonna run me my money for this cocktail. And I'm like, sir, it was an error, but okay. And this was after we were already in our feelings because Garrett came through with this grown ass gift for Kevin. We're like, we just showed up for dinner. We didn't know we were supposed to bring gifts. Listen, Garrett let me know, bitch, step your game up because I am coming for you. And then he took this nigga to go see Brandy. How am I supposed to top that? Like, Garrett, you almost, listen, we was going to have a tribunal or something. Like, you have to vote him off the island. We been here before him.
I remember the energy. And I remember back then, I used to have like the most possessive ass girls as friends.
Because they liked
Because it was a whole table of girls all looking at who's this new nigga. Everybody around the table like, we don't know him. We didn't approve of this visit. And that wasn't the first time. There was years ago when before I met you, I was in college, and that's when I was talking to Vincent. I mentioned Vincent to you before. Vincent was very eclectic or whatever, and I was out with two girlfriends who you know, and he came out and they literally made him so uncomfortable that he was like, "I'm gonna catch you later when you're not with them." He said that to me. He's like, "I'm going to catch you later when they're not with you because obviously they don't like me." They like froze him out. I'm like, damn, I'm not even fucking y'all.
I mean, well, there was one you could have.
There's been a few I could.
I mean, and probably still to this day, if you just were ever like, you know what, I'm a little curious, you know, but that's fine. It's really you have very. I can see why your friends are territorial of you because I know I'll speak for me again. You are very dismissive in a like
I'm not lying.
Yeah, you're just like, okay, girl, and then you just walk away.
That's so the phrase. Okay, girl.
All right then. Okay, girl. All right then. So I remember just meeting you. It's like it could be like a very kind of aggressive kind of energy, and because you're nonchalant, you're just like, ugh. So it's like, no, fuck that. Like I wanna. The fuck you mean? Like, you know, you just want to hop in. And then, like, you are you don't ask for nothing. You are the first friend who I can honestly say I had who was like, okay, come to my party, but you don't need to bring me shit. Like, everybody else kind of, like, has this whole,
right, gifts?
What you bring me?
No.
And I always love the fact that you always struggle with Christmas, because I always thought that was funny. You're like, I hate Christmas.
I hate Christmas so much.
I gotta buy this person a gift.
I'm buying gifts for niggas I don't see.
So, your friendship, and that's what it is. Your friendship was never based off of what do I have to give you. It was just genuinely, let's kick it, let's talk, and that's just all it was. So that's honestly why we're friends. Because, you know, I've always had issues with, like, trying to buy friends and, like, trying to, like, get people to like me and things like that. So I can see how one would be like, oh, you know, Kevin, you're mine, like nobody else's, because it's like you don't really ask for much in return. You ask for not even really loyalty. It's like just keep it real with me.
Let's have a good time.
You know, and that's it. And that's not how a lot of friendships come. A lot of friendships come very loaded. I need you to be my friend and my therapist, occasionally my cuddle buddy. We might fuck here and there. Right. Like it comes with a lot. I need you to be, you know, my investor. Listen to my mixtape. You know, I need you to buy my products. It's a lot of that. Like I've had friends who have started businesses and pretty much put in my first order for them.
Really?
Oh yeah. They're like, okay, I'm sending you a shirt and this is how much it was. You started photography. It was never like, okay, Christina, so when is my shoot? You started your podcast. It was never, okay, Christina, when are you going to be? It was never like that. You've never asked for nothing in return for your friendship. So I've always given it to you just here.
I don't know, because that's how I look. That's actually how I look at friendship. I mean, that's kind of how it was with Garrick too. I mean, Garrick has this high profile ass job, and I was like, nigga, you ain't gonna take me to shit. Like, I think you're cool. Like, I like hanging out with you. Like, it is what it is. Like, it's actual friendship. Like, I don't ask him for anything. Because even when I don't even like telling people what he does, because then they try to be like, oh, well, can you talk to? No, I would never come to him on no shit, especially for you. Like, who are you? I'm not that dude.
Like, I think it's easy for people to want to give to you and want to do for you and be there for you because you don't ask for nothing in return. It's like, okay.
I want to give people friendship.
Right.
That's honestly what I want. Honestly, that's what it is. I want to be a break for people. Like, the shit that you go through all damn day, the shit that annoys you, I want to be the opposite of that. So if you're stressed out in this space, you're not going to be stressed out in my space. If you hate talking about this, you're not going to talk about it with me. I want to be an authentic friend. And it's funny. It's interesting. I've been thinking about this a lot lately. I'm always thinking about legacy. And one thing, when I leave this earth, I want people to remember me for how I made them feel. And I consider that all the time. I'm not out here being an asshole to people unless you deserve it. Like, unless you really push me to a point that I gotta be like, okay, motherfucker. Then otherwise we're good. But I like creating great experiences with people when we're in each other's presence. That's my thing. Whether it's me making you laugh, I love making people laugh. I absolutely love making people laugh. So when people get joy out of the shit that I say, that gets me off. And like, even like having people over and having them enjoy themselves, curating a good playlist for somebody. I love being able to give somebody music that they love. That means something to me. When I take photos of people, I think my clients like me. It's not that I'm like just this phenomenal ass photographer. I think I'm a good photographer now. Don't get me wrong. I know my shit. But I'm not like, like my brother, for instance, he's his photography, that's what I want to get to. But I don't have the coin to do the shit he doing. He got different kind
Remember, focus on what we do.
Right.
I'm going to get the
coin to do that. Yes! Manifestation! Keep me on par. But it's one of those things, but I think the reason I'm able to have a clientele is because of how I make them feel. As soon as we meet, I'm making you feel like we're friends already. Like we're kicking it. I'm trying to get a feel for you because I want genuine shit. I don't want forced shit. I want to have a good time. I want to do that. But that's what I get off on. I get off on providing an escape for people, but not at the cost of myself though. Because a lot of people will sacrifice themselves. I'm not going to sacrifice myself for your enjoyment, but I am going to allot enough space and energy for you to have a break.
That's real. That's real. So we talked about commonalities because I want to get back to that. So we talked about your commonalities with Wabi and your commonality with Raven. So I'm just going to throw out some names from the people that came on
let's do
Friday
it.
that I remember names.
Let's do it.
So excuse me if I don't remember your name and I don't throw it out there.
This is going to be good.
So commonalities with Dwayne Walters. Because I told you how I feel about Dwayne. I feel like Dwayne is like your turn-up twin. I feel like Dwayne is like... I feel like you... One person that I missed this weekend, I did miss Charles. So I did miss Charlie. Shout out to Charlie. I miss you. But I did miss him. But Charlie Butler.
Just in case the other... I mean, she loves the other Charles too.
I do. I like both Charles.
Right.
You haven't gave me a Charles yet I didn't like.
Right. We have to be clear on which one she's talking about right now.
Right. So Charlie Butler.
Yes.
Cheeky
Charlie.
Cheeky Charlie. But Dwayne Walter, I felt like...
Yeah, similar energy.
Yes. It was perfect. It was dope to see someone as hype as you. I'm used to you being that hype, where you're like just dancing all over the place. So it was nice to have someone to match that. So what's your commonalities with Dwayne Walters?
It's just that he is a turn up person. I can count on him for a good time. Like he's somebody that I can literally hit up because of schedules and stuff like that and be like, hey, let's kick it. All right, cool. I got this client. After that, let's do that. And then he's down for just going with it. Like, oh, we doing this till 1? Cool, let's do this until 1. And then also the comedy factor. Like he's hilarious. Like I love funny people. And then also I like to be able to talk. I don't want to have to filter how I talk to people. That drives me crazy. If I want to talk about dick, I want to talk about dick. If I want to talk about fucking whatever, politics, whatever, I don't want to have to feel like how I am on this podcast. This podcast has been great because I've authentically been myself.
Right.
Like the sex episodes, like that's my everyday fucking conversation. And I want to be able to do that. And like he offers that we can literally just keep it real and not just be that, We hung out recently. We went to Yard House and then we ended up sitting there for 4 hours. And then the waiter was like, how long have you guys known each other? We were like a year or some change. He was like, that's it? I was all like, yeah. He's like, you guys have just been cackling the whole... I was like, it's energy. And so, yeah, it's definitely just the fun factor. It's the fun factor. And it's also the real shit. Dwayne inspires me because, I mean, he's an entrepreneur. And also, he supports. Dwayne supports, man. Like, if you have an opening, if you have an event, he's going to be there. If it's on time or whatever, he's going to be there.
So he's a lot like you.
Sure. I'll take that.
That's what's up.
Yeah. He's going to be there. So, yeah, that's definitely the commonality there with that one.
All right. My next one.
Sheesh.
My other favorite for the night, because that twirl was phenomenal. Christopher. Body looking like milk. Come through with that twirl. That twirl was everything.
He did a sizzle twirl for the weekend video. With Christopher I actually met through a mutual friend from LA. Cornelius. I know him as Steve though. Niggas be going by different names. But he another Pisces friend reached out to me and was like, oh, I got a friend out there and I really would like you guys to meet. Christopher, I like Christopher because Christopher has a very kind of open arms privilege thing with himself where he's just, I think he really likes friendship a lot. Like he really embraces people. He likes to have a good time. He likes to, he likes people to be comfortable. a lot like me. And there's that. And then also, he's a singer. Like, nigga, I love music. Like, as soon as I heard him sing, I said, oh, nigga, yeah, we're friends. Like he did Sisters of the Weekend. Like, I still crack up. We were talking about that on Friday. I was like, I literally made a fucking EP for this nigga. Like, he performed. I'm like, I'm going to rip these into tracks and put them on SoundCloud for you. Like, here you go. Put this out. Put some money behind it. Because I went to one of his open mics and I just enjoyed it so much. I recorded it. I came home and I ripped it and I put it as individual tracks so I can listen to it like whenever in the car. But I was like, oh, here you go. I made some tracks for you. But like, yes, the music front. I think that's where we really kind of toe the line. And he laughs at my jokes. I mean,
Come through, he laughs.
you gotta laugh at my jokes. Like, you gotta get my sense of humor.
Oh, so if we don't laugh at your jokes, it's a wrap?
It might be.
Damn.
It might be.
Yikes.
It might be. I mean, I'm living in my truth right now.
Come through, living your truth.
It might be. It might be. I mean, I don't need you to look at me funny like I don't get it. Get out. You don't get it. Get out.
Get out.
I don't have no fucking goddamn Frasier comedy. It's pretty straight fucking forward. Like, what you mean no fucking
Frasier
get it?
like that person.
How much wood would a woodchuck put? The fuck?
All right, the last person I'm going to ask, Stacy.
Oh, Stacy! Stacy is honestly, she reminds me of my older sisters. She gives me the same fucking I got you vibe. Like, Stacy's just dope, man. Like, she, you can always get a good home cooked meal. She's gonna show up. She's always a person, like, she keeps track of shit. She's like, oh, you're going to, like, for instance, I'm going to LA in April. She's like, oh shit, fuck it. I'm going to LA sometime in April. I don't know what dates. Fuck. But she so much for creeping in. Anywho, she was like, hey, so are you gonna park your car at my place? Since, you know, she lives by the airport, she's like, you know, your mother welcome. Like, shit like that, where you're thinking ahead of me. I love, like, that certain kind of care. Like, she shows up, like, no matter what. And then also, she's a big representation of LA for me. Because she's from the LA crew, and she lives here. So it's like that, she provides that where I come from feeling.
Come through, big sister. Always got me.
She always got, yeah, she always resourceful. Like, you like, oh, I need this. Oh, yeah, do this. Like, yeah, I think we need that. We always need people that are slightly older than us. Not much, but just it's just an extra piece of guidance. And that's dope to me.
Have you noticed that the common theme is all your friends show up for you? Like, every single one. Like,
it's important for me, though.
All your friends pretty much show up.
But I think it's it's because of it's reciprocation, though.
Right.
It's because I show up. I'm not gonna bullshit my friends. Like, I'm not gonna bullshit my friends. Like, I'm not that dude. And so I think it's a reciprocation.
Do you intentionally show up, or is it just genuine? Like, you genuinely want to show up for your friends?
I genuinely want to show up, but then also I curate my friends in a place where I don't have to fake. Like, I'm not gonna gas you up if it ain't worth being gassed up. If that makes sense.
Right.
Like for instance, like with Raven and yoga. I fucking love yoga, but I also love him teaching me yoga.
Right.
I don't know that I could go to another instructor and be like cool with it because I like how Raven does it. I genuinely believe in his craft. I genuinely believe in what he does. With Dwayne, Ready, Set, Great, his company is the shit. His branding is spot the fuck on. Like, I've never seen, like, it's perfect. It's literally perfect fucking branding. I believe in it, so I support it. I don't have people around me doing things I don't actually support. Christopher, he sings down, like, not around the house. Like, no, he can sing people under a table. I support the shit. So it's genuine because it's already been decided, like, no, I support this because it's authentic. And people know my work quality. And so it's genuine.
So, since I like to spread out,
yes,
it's my trait, apparently. I like to spread out. What's the difference between your friendships and your relationships? Your romantic relationships?
Baby. Yes, God. Can you define relationship?
I said romantic.
Define romantic.
Fucking.
We fucking.
We are fucking. Like, the whole point of me getting to know you and coming to your events and listen to your mixtapes is so I could fuck.
Let's unpack this shit.
But should that be a reason? This is the thing. I feel a lot of times we make the mistake of removing the friendship from the relationship.
Yeah.
And it becomes
a huge problem.
Like the things that we don't expect from our friends, we then expect to someone now that we're in a relationship.
Thank you. I say this all the time. Why does fucking make this difference? For example, if Christina and I, which we've never, I think I remember one thing long time ago. We got over that like an hour though. It was like a weird misunderstanding, but that was 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Other than that, we don't have disagreements. But if she and I had a disagreement, we would literally talk about that shit, figure it out, and move on. Why is it that when you're intimate with somebody, it becomes this whole extra mind game and this whole different expectation? I don't get that. I look at relationships as elevated friendships.
Exactly.
So why can't I talk to you the same way? Why does it have to be this whole mind game? Oh no, I need to ice you out. I need to not talk to you for 3 hours or 3 days to make you feel a certain way. And then when we talk about it, I'm not going to listen to understand. I'm going to listen to respond.
Right.
And I'm like, it's going to be this whole thing. Whereas I done solved the shit with my friend within the same hour that it happened and we moved on. I don't get that shit. And I think my biggest thing right now, especially being single, it's hard to find someone who understands what I mean by that. Like, how do we have an elevated friendship? Because a lot of these niggas are on some possessive shit. A lot of niggas want to possess me. And I don't know if that's because of this so-called
what do you mean
so-called attractive privilege.
Sir, can we talk about your Instagram? First of all, okay, so honesty moment. When Kevin posts certain photos, I kindly send him text messages letting him know I'm about to creep. Like, I know what these comments are going to be. I already know what this is about to hit for. This is my entertainment for us today. So, and again, I've never known Kevin to not be wanted. Like, I will never forget Kevin. Kevin had a party. What year was
2010.
this? 2010. It was like different men trying to pull him into different rooms and like declaring their love and trying to get him drugged.
I had to be saved. One dude was just in his feelings about why we didn't work out.
Exactly.
And then somebody had to actually come and get me and say, okay.
Like, every time we've ever gone out, like, I remember we would go to West Hollywood. Where would we go? The Cantina. It's like, here comes some new person. Oh, Kevin, I haven't seen you in forever. You just look so good. Like, it was always that. I've never known you to not be wanted. So that's a reality for me. I don't know about you, sir. But as a straight woman with her ass based in LA, I see the want everywhere. But that's fine.
Humility. We'll call it humility.
That's whatever. It's fine. Anywho.
Niggas like to possess me.
And I get that because, and you and I talked about this, you're nonchalant. You are very passionate. You're very creative.
But you also see me when I'm in love, though.
Oh, nigga, you are crazy when you're in
okay,
love.
You see me when I'm really into someone and they fucking do me wrong. So it was like this weird ass trying to find a balance in between the two. So if it's whatever, we just fucking, I can definitely be nonchalant. But it's also, it's how I protect myself, I think, too. Because I can like somebody and still be like, I don't want to turn to this. I hate the term needy because I don't think I'm needy. I just like to be communicated with. That's it.
You're not needy.
I just want open communication. And a lot of dudes feel like that is needy.
You're not needy at all. I mean, needy would be...
You ain't got to be up under me. Half the time I don't want you here.
Yeah, it's like... I think one is that a lot of people in general don't necessarily want to do the work for an actual relationship. So to bypass the friendship and then you just want the relationship, which for some, as of right now, we've talked about this quite often, it's like, it's just sex. Like, relationship is the beginning and end of sex for a lot of people. Like, there's no foreplay to it. It's like, okay, we're fucking, bam, now we're together. Or we're in a situation. So I think that for a lot of men, they don't know what to do when it comes to you.
Yeah.
Because it's like, okay, do I just try to go after his ego? Which is, I'm just going to always like all your Instagram photos and, I'm just going to always, oh, you're just so fine. Oh, you're just so cute. Like, am I going to go that route with you because I don't know? Or am I going to try to get personal with you? But again, I can't get too personal and be too transparent with you because you might not like that shit and I'm insecure about that shit. So I'm not going to really tell you the truth. Like, is it more that they don't know how to get you, but they know how to get you on a friendship level? Could it be that?
It could be. I think honestly, I feel like who I curate myself to be online is authentically me.
Mm-hmm.
I do think that.
Mm-hmm.
But I also can't control perspective.
Right.
Your perspective is your perspective. So people project a lot of shit onto me just based on whatever they see.
What do they project on you?
That I have all these niggas. Now, none niggas want me, but I don't have all these niggas. There's a difference.
Right.
Like, and not anyone can have me. And I think people think that when you are popular or when people like you, that you're fucking all of them. No, it doesn't work that way. Like, I have my own taste and preferences and shit. And a lot of times those niggas don't even want me. So imagine that. And so it's just, it's weird. Relationships are weird. But I think as I think about my last few relationships, it was always on some I own you type shit. But then again, I also date a lot of Scorpios. And I mean, just possessive. Like, them niggas like, you mine. I kill you, bitch.
Maybe it's because Scorpios, they don't really show the whole. I feel like Scorpios don't show their hand until they know for sure that they're gonna win.
Oh, hell no!
So it's like, oh, I've seen your hand. You losing? Okay, you're losing. Okay, here's my hand, and now I'm fully in. So give me all that is mine, and it's just kind of like that. And
I don't mind it from a protective standpoint. I don't mind being protected. Like, I know me. I can be. I'm a strong dude. I get that. I'm also very independent. But there is something nice about being pampered when it does happen. And I there was a time where my friendships and relationships were like that. I would always meet people who I guess looked at me as if I was weak. But I'm not weak. I'm not weak at all. I've been through too much to be weak. I'm independent as fuck. And so it's also trying to find a divide of someone who still respects my strength and respects me. Now, it's okay if you want to be like, oh, wait a minute. Because, I mean, I've been with people who, like, you can't... I've had friendships and everything. Even to this day, people can't talk to me any kind of way. Like, I could be sitting somewhere with friends or whatever, someone say something and be like, I didn't fuck this bitch up. Like, people will stand... And I've always kind of had that. And I always think to myself, like, am I projecting this out that I need this? Like, that I can't cover myself? Because everyone knows I got a mouth on me.
No, I think you... Like, for me, I told you it's the nonchalantness. I know you're just going to perpetually let it roll off.
Oh, yeah.
It might bother you.
I don't like confrontation.
Right. But I'm built for that shit. So we got a problem?
Right.
Like, is there something that you want to say to us? Because it's not like, and I get that. And maybe it's because people get the vibe. You're not going to be I've never seen you in a confrontation.
I don't like confrontation.
Like, ever. And
like, if you push me to that point, and it's probably going to be terrible, because if I get pushed to that point, then it's blackout. I'm not that guy. Like, I never understood the point for it. It's the same with pettiness. It's like, why are you choosing that route? It's so much easier to just be like, okay, cool, nonchalant, and just keep it pushing.
Right.
I always crack up because, like, I think about, like, Tamar. Now, Tamar is the type of Pisces I never want to be. I feel like she's, like, not the worst, but she has that kind of, like, that playing victim shit. I can't do that. I'm all about taking responsibility. If I fucked up, I'm sorry. I'm going to take that. Let's just move forward to a solution. But one thing about Tamar that she does that I do too is I'm quick to pick up my bag and walk out. Okay, this conversation isn't going anywhere. Done. Okay, you're not listening to me anymore. Done. We're not getting anywhere. Done. I'm quick to be like, all right, we're done. And it irritates people like, oh no, sit here and fight with me. No, I'm not going to sit here and fight with you. I'm going to sit here and get a solution with you. If we're not getting to a fucking solution, it's just going to be you hurling off insults at me. I'm not going to sit here and take that shit. But if you want to actually get to a place of solution, then we can talk. I'm good for you sitting in the back of my head.
What's that? But what's on the other side, or what's the consequence of you walking out in that moment? Especially if it's in a relationship.
It's just, I felt like it was a lot, in my last relationship, it was a lot of that. Well, because it got to a point where it was like, it was always being hit below the belt. It was always like, I mean, you knew the insides and outs of that shit, you know? And it was just like, how much do you want me to suffer? How much do you want me to fucking think? I mean, we've talked about this. I cheated. How much do you fucking want me to pay for this shit? I've lost friends. I done lost your fucking trust. I've begged you. I've cried. I've been on my knees. I've sit here and gave you every detail of it. What the fuck else do you want from me? And how much do I have to be a martyr to you for us to move on with this shit? And if that's not the case, why aren't we ending it? why aren't you leaving? Because I don't want to sit here and continue to be a fucking criminal every fucking day.
Because many of us are afraid of the what's on the other side of leaving.
Yeah.
And it's the thought of, one, let's just keep it real. A lot of us don't know what the fuck a relationship is.
No.
And we essentially get into them and we're navigating our way through them like it's the first time every time. And this is regardless of age. Like, we're talking niggas who still don't know how to date well into almost 40s, you know, like just in my own personal experience, like they're finally maturing. They're finally realizing that, you know, within a relationship, it's not just sex. It takes communication.
I just think about Jay-Z right now. That old ass nigga like, oh yeah, I'm kind of trash. Nigga, you almost dead.
Kind of
like,
trash.
Nigga.
You are basura.
Like, nigga, you not that far from AARP. Like, that pamphlet is on its way.
Discount?
Like, nigga, IHOP $6.
Yes,
Right, free coffee.
Like,
movies.
And I feel that, especially as a woman, I've made a lot of excuses for men not being at a particular maturity level in order to have a relationship. And I've made a lot of concessions. I've made a lot of excuses. I've compromised boundaries all over the fucking place. I mean, and a lot of it is a reflection of my friendships as well. Again, I tried to buy friends. Like, I was so low in my own security of self that it was like, well, I know I got money, so bam, bam, bam. Let me buy you concert tickets. Let me buy you this. Let me buy you that. You know, and that definitely transcended into my relationships. Because that's just how I knew how to get people. And I've learned a lot of lessons. I'm grateful for the lessons. I regret nothing because it's who I am now.
Yeah, build you.
But I still find myself now at 35 relearning or trying to learn how to have a healthy relationship. And it's something that, as unattractive as it sounds, like, how you gonna be 35 just learning? Like, no, it's real. A lot of us are broken as fuck.
And we don't heal. We don't talk to people. We don't look at therapy the way we should look at it.
Right.
And there's so many things that we have to fucking unpack. And we were talking about something yesterday about like childhood shit, how we're afraid to challenge how our parents raised us.
Oh, very much so.
We don't realize that our parents are just humans and they don't have a pamphlet for the shit and they're doing the best they can. Mm-hmm. But just because they did it doesn't make it right.
Right.
And a lot of times like, well, my mama did this, so it's right. No, that shit was toxic as fuck.
Like spanking. Right. Like the fact that you did something wrong and it was common practice for, I mean, I don't believe you got spanked, right? I did. So I got my ass beat for the most part. I did something wrong. I knew there was going to be, you know, some type of whooping or whatever the case may be. And how has that played into my relationships? I mean, I haven't been physically abusive towards anyone and never will be, but I do have that anger side. Mm-hmm. And it's that side where I'm almost ready to fight. And now I'm ready to fight, so I'm leaving, you know, and now I'm cutting off the communication. And for me, when I cut off the communication, when I've hit that point, the other side of it is me rationalizing with myself and calming down so that I'm no longer angry, so that I'm now able to look at it from a different emotional standpoint versus me just seeing red and me just focusing in on the negative. And I think that everyone doesn't operate that same way. Some people walk out and they come back in and it's like, I'm still mad. Yeah. You know, they don't really have that cooling off, you know, point. Some people come back and it's like, now they're ready to end it, you know. I never want to be in another relationship where my cooling off consists of me going to go talk to someone else. Yeah. And that's why having a friendship in my relationship is of the utmost importance to me. Oh my God, yes. I don't want to have to seek out Kevin because this nigga ain't shit right now. I need to be able to communicate to him, you know what, you just really ain't shit right now. And this just isn't, I'm not feeling this and we need to talk about this. And I honestly, what got me here was therapy. It was me realizing that we've always talked about like, oh, you have friends for different things and things like that. And then I realized like, that's what caused me to cheat, you know, time and time again, was that I applied that. I didn't apply the friendship part, but I did apply the having friends for different things into my relationship. Mm-hmm. And I wasn't necessarily a physical cheater. I was an emotional cheater. And emotional cheating is, as to me, it's as simple as I'm going to withhold said emotion from you and I'm going to share it with someone else. So it's having that emotional intimacy with another person.
Mm.
And that person can sure in the fuck be your friends. It could be
Yeah.
your best friends, your girlfriends. It doesn't matter. It's you're sharing a part of yourself or denying a part of yourself from your relationship that you're now openly sharing with someone else. That's cheating. And I think that we need to be clear about that because I think a lot of times we want to make it seem like cheating is only when you fuck someone else. No, cheating is when you check the fuck out and decide that, you know what, I'm going to keep this from you and now I'm sharing it with this person.
That's
And I
real.
found myself consistently sharing parts of myself with someone else. And typically it was the emotional side because I didn't feel heard. I didn't have that communication. I didn't have that friendship in my relationship. So I get mad. And now, because I know from my childhood, you know, we get mad, we fight. Well, I'm not going to fight you, but I could. So let me leave. And now I'm going to go talk to my friends that I now feel, you know, comfortable with
And safe with.
and safe with because I allowed them and I've allowed that to be built with them. I didn't allow that with my relationships. It was like, this is what it was supposed to be. We're supposed to be kicking it. You're supposed to be taking me out. You're supposed to text me good morning, text me good night, check on me for lunch, make sure I'm okay. This is what you're supposed to do. It's like a checklist with a relationship, but it's not like that with my friends.
Yeah.
So because I held my relationships in a certain regard and they're supposed to look a certain way and be structured a certain way and feel a certain way, I realized that I negated the whole foundation of what it would be is that we just actually like being around each other
Yeah.
and we enjoy each other. And that's actually what kept me in my last relationship the longest is that the relationship part, I wasn't feeling it, but the friendship part was there. We could eat, we could smoke, we could talk for the most part about most shit that we agreed on. And then there was sometimes we could have conversations, but then when it did get that heated, like, I don't want to talk to you about this anymore because you're not hearing me, you're not letting me talk. I feel like you're over talking me, whatever. I checked out.
Yeah.
And it was like, all right, let me go call Kevin.
Right.
Kevin, what's your thoughts on this? How do you
Right.
feel about that?
And
And
you
then
know my enabling ass.
You know-
Let's get that nigga out.
you know, and it's just like I'm now in a space where it's like, no, I want to cultivate healthy friendships because that will feed over into my healthy relationships.
Yeah.
We need to be homies and friends first and kick it and like each other
Yeah.
and genuinely show up for each other. So that way our relationship, like how you said, is just the next step.
Yeah, and it's not based on ideals. I feel like my last relationship was just all about image, and that shit drives you crazy because it's like, but we not that.
So how do you feel about that in hindsight, knowing that you and your ex were goals? You were relationship goals for a lot of gay black men.
Right? And it's funny, and I tell people it wasn't inauthentic. There were times where we were actually very fucking happy, and what was shown on Instagram and shit was authentic. But when we were bad, nigga, I was like, shit, like, what's going on, you know? And like, but it was all based on ideals of like how we want this shit to look, and it was just like, nah.
So let me ask you this: why did you never show the bad shit online?
Because I don't believe in
But you-
curating negativity.
But you show the good shit.
I know, but you're curating though, and
Is it curating or is it balance? What's the
Well, my
difference
thing is
between
this.
curating and balance?
Well, let's unpack this, which is going to be the title of this show, obviously.
Yes.
Okay, because I've had this talk with other people too. They're like, okay, well, you post the positive stuff, but I was just like, well, what does that look like? Because that's it.
Mhm.
I judge people who put negative shit online,
Mm.
including my ex, because my ex did that shit and it used to piss me off. He'd be upset with me and wouldn't tell me, but he'd go to Facebook and be like, niggas need to blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, nigga, I'm in the next motherfucking room. What the fuck?
Come through confrontational. Yes.
Come tell me, nigga. Why you tell? And that's why I'm like, why go there when you can go to the person? It's passive aggressive to me.
Mhm.
So that's what it is.
Were you guys friends?
He and I?
Mhm.
Yes. The problem is we weren't, intimacy wasn't there. And that was the problem. I'm very transparent about this. The situation with he and I was, we met at a time when I was very vulnerable. I had just moved to Atlanta. I was barely getting through grief of losing my mother,
Right.
grandmother, and father in 3 months' time. My roommate, my cousin, she had just met her now husband. She was always out. I kept meeting niggas who just wanted to fuck. and I wasn't getting any balance. He comes along, he's treating me differently, he's sweet, buying me things, he's there, he's a listening ear. I'm like, okay, cool. The attraction could have been better.
Right.
It wasn't like, oh, I just want to just fuck this nigga all day, all night. It was not that. But it was like, he's nice, he's attractive enough. This is the truth. So we built a relationship off of that. I thought that I was finally doing the right thing. Because that's how people paint it. It's about who people are inside, you know, and shit like that. So we had a great relationship off that. So we were friends. We had a good time together. We traveled together. We talked about things. He understood my emotion for the most part. I got his vibe. We enjoyed each other's company. We were up under each other often. In fact, here's the thing. He lived in an apartment. He moved out of his apartment. He had a house elsewhere, but he was like, I'm at your place so much that I'm going to actually just let this apartment go and just live at my house and stay at your place. And I was like, cool with it, because he was staying with me like 3 and 4 nights a week.
Right.
And it was fine. It was completely fine for damn near a year. It was cool. I liked him there. He was there. I loved it. I loved waking up next to him. I loved walking him to the door in the mornings when he went to work. Just when we hugged, like, it was authentic. Like, I authentically loved him. But then shit changed, obviously, when I cheated. And that was on because I wasn't being fed. There were some disagreements there. Like, basically, when we were bad, we were bad.
Right.
It was like, we didn't get each other when we were on the negative place. And we couldn't communicate in a way that worked.
Right.
And, you know, shit happened where, you know, he fell out with my cousin and everything just got really misunderstood. And so finally, because that attraction wasn't at what I needed to be anyway, as soon as the first time, I believe it was the first time we really had an argument where I was like, well, nigga, I felt in my heart we were about to break up. I was like, we about to break up any fucking way. And then there was somebody who was already kind of like, you know, in the wings. And it's like I tried to keep him at bay, but niggas don't care. And then the opportunity presented itself and I was like, fuck it.
So let me ask you this. Did you always keep niggas at bay?
No.
So at what point did you start to reach out or make yourself available?
It was never a reach out or, oddly enough, this person was somebody who worked with me. And it wasn't, I'm quick to tell niggas, like, I'm in a relationship. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm not about leaving paper trails. That's not my shit.
Right.
Like, no, that's crazy. But it's somebody I worked with, and they was always like, damn, if you didn't have somebody, damn, blah, blah. And this motherfucker was fine. And I was like, yeah, no, I'm not that kind of dude or whatever. But then, like, the opportunity presented itself, and then, like, by this time, he and I weren't having sex like that anyway. And so it just kind of opened up into the point where the opportunity struck. And that's why I believe in the universe. Because that shit lined up way too well. It was like, how are you available at this moment, at this time? Because that person that I actually linked up with also had someone. And so it was like, what the fuck?
Was there an energy that you were giving out?
Probably horniness, nigga.
Like, I am not fucking right now. Like, I need you to understand.
Cat in heat. Just hot ass. Like, it was like just a gas of sexiness. Like, nigga, he ain't been fucked. Like, it was just seeping out. Like, but the opportunity presented itself and it happened. And it just was what it was. And yeah, but then that made shit worse. And that's the craziest thing about it. I can say, like I say that we talk about this all the time. I'd never cheat again. And it's funny because even before that relationship, I'd never been the cheater. I've always been the one who got cheated on.
Right.
But cheating gave me perspective of the cheater. And I started understanding how easy it is to fall into it. And I also understand the consequences of it. It is better to just break up with the nigga or just have an open relationship.
Right.
The thing about it is communication. And people still don't get that shit. But so that happened. But then I had to pay. I paid for like a year, my nigga. Like the last year of our relationship was literally me paying for cheating on him.
Which was so odd because now when I think about it, I think about, because you guys got engaged.
Yeah.
And
which was weird because we weren't in a good place. He proposed to me and we weren't in a good place. I'm like, nigga, what?
But I also look at him. I look at it from, because he was a Scorpio.
Yeah.
Look at it from a ownership standpoint. That okay, I no longer own you in this situation because you've cheated. Yeah. So next step.
Actually, he didn't know yet.
So you found out after?
Mhm.
Are you serious? But so all that craziness was.
Yeah, it was just.
Nigga, I thought the craziness was for.
Well, here's the thing. Because we had other things though. Because remember, there were fallouts with other people. There was a lot of shit going on. So, yeah. All right, you guys. I hope you enjoyed part 1 of Let's Unpack This featuring Christina. The next show will have part 2 where we dig deeper into that situation I was just talking about. So I will catch you all next week. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you tell your friends and all that good stuff. Leave your comments on part 1 because I'm sure there's a lot to be said as I was just dropping bomb after bomb. I was in my zone. So yeah, I'll talk to you all next week. Peace out.